Hi everyone, Joe Gentili from Saroff Gentili LLP. Want to give some thoughts on the EB-5 industry. And EB-5 is a immigration program in the U.S. where if foreign nationals invest a pretty large amount of money, and that investment creates jobs and meets some other requirements, they're able to get a green card throughout the process. Overall, I think it's a great program for the US. It creates all sorts of jobs, brings in investment, and it's a great program for immigrants that want a green card. So overall, I'm pretty positive on the EB-5 program. However, that program has had some problems, and the problems largely revolve around the fact that you have um, foreign nationals that want to immigrate to the United States. They are bringing a lot of money with them, and they're not necessarily very familiar with how U.S. immigration works or U.S. investment works. And there are people out there that are looking to get rich, taking advantage of them. This was spurred because I saw a case recently reported where there was an allegation that an attorney that worked in EB-5 was steering clients towards particular projects because those projects were kicking back basically a sales commission for bringing them in, which his clients were not aware of, and that's a big no-no. Can't do that. It's a conflict of interest. That's one version of a conflict of interest that we see out there in the EB-5 world. We also see that some of the people that run the projects that are being invested in, they have conflicts of interest that they're not disclosing. They're self-dealing in some instances. Attorneys are bringing people to projects and not disclosing that the project is run by a family member, or we're seeing things where an attorney represents the project and represents the investors, and the investors don't know about it. Lots of different permutations where there's conflicts of interest that aren't disclosed to investors or immigrants. And this can cause a lot of problems. If there's conflicts of interest and you're not aware of, you may not be getting put into the best projects with the best terms on it. And sometimes that could result in complications in getting your immigration status if the money is lost or it's just missing and the jobs aren't created. Or you could get the immigration status, but there could be financial ramifications because the project is either lost the money or has the ability to redeploy it into something that you didn't really agree to invest in the beginning, or your money is tied up for a much longer period of time than you initially thought. So you're losing the time value of that money that goes along. So these conflicts of interest that are out there can be very, very damaging. Fortunately for investors, there are legal tools available that can help them. We've helped a number of investors or immigrants that have had problems in EB-5 projects. So sometimes the projects, for whatever reason, are not providing over the necessary immigration documents needed for immigrants to complete the immigration process. They're withholding them for reasons that are not always clear, but we're able to use state corporate laws sometimes in ways to assist clients to basically force these projects to give the documents over and let them complete the immigration process. Or if there's situations where they know that there's a scam going on, essentially, or securities laws are being broken, we can help with the immigrants filing whistleblower tips. And sometimes if those whistleblower tips are successful and there's fines given out to the people that are breaking the law, the whistleblower gets a percentage of what the government recovers, and that could add up to large sums of money. There are people that have gotten rewards well into the millions of dollars for good information related to frauds, for investment frauds. And then there's also class actions. Class actions is another tool that's available to investors to group together and file a case to recover money. And they're very useful because investment lawsuits can be very time consuming and expensive to bring. And the class action tool is a way to make it so that it can be done on a contingency basis. And even if the investor doesn't have money to put up front, they could still hire very skilled attorneys to pursue their money. If the case doesn't work out, they're not going to owe fees for that. So a lot of ways that there can be help. So that's good news. The other good news is that a lot of the conflict of interest that are out there, they're still out there. I still see them come up all the time, but I think the trend in the industry has been for the projects to get cleaner as time is going on instead of worse. So it's not to say that there's no problems and you could relax. It's a clean, safe area. I wouldn't say that at all, but the trend is at least promising. So if you have any issues or thoughts about EB-5, if you're an investor and you're running into some problems, feel free to reach out. It's an area that I think my firm is uniquely suited almost to help with, because not only do we have a lot of experience in immigration litigation, but also my partner and I, we started our careers doing securities cases, securities class actions, and corporate governance type cases. So that combination is not too common. There's not a lot of lawyers out there that are well versed in immigration and also well versed in securities law and state corporate laws. So we're pretty uniquely situated to help people in this area. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any time. I hope this was useful. Thanks. Bye.